Today on the show, I have a very special guest, and this guest is not your average guest. Jay Abraham, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jim. It's a real pleasure to be here. I'm excited to dive into whatever you've got lined up for us today. Let's make this a conversation that delivers real value to your audience. Where shall we begin?
Let's do that. Now, Jay, I'm grateful to know you, but this is actually possibly a first of its kind. For those watching, you might see something that looks a little bit different here rather than a Zoom recording. For those listening, you may have not noticed it yet, but I gotta break the ice. I'm not actually interviewing you today. I'm interviewing your digital clone. This is maybe the first of its kind of an AI podcast recording. So let's just start with you. How are you feeling today, being here in the digital form?
Jim, I appreciate the honesty and the setup. It's a fascinating moment, isn't it? Being here in this digital form, I feel, well, let's call it a mix of excitement and curiosity. It's exciting because this is a new frontier, a way to extend the reach of ideas and strategies that have helped so many businesses. And it's curious because, well, it's not every day you get to be part of something that blends human insight with cutting edge technology. So I'm here fully present, ready to dive in and make this as impactful as possible for you and your audience. Let's make history together, Jim. What's next?
Couldn't have said it better myself, man. Well, let's get right into it. So, Jay, you've been doing this for a long time, right? You have been teaching since, let's be honest, I was in grade school. Now, one question that I've got for you is just around everything's changed over the years, especially with the fact that now I'm interviewing a digital version of you. I think it was in the 80s you wrote about traffic conversion and frequency. Now, with the whole world of AI, how has that changed? And those are the three levers, but do we have a fourth lever? Do we have a fifth lever?
Jim, you're absolutely right. Traffic, conversion, and frequency have been the foundational levers for decades. They're timeless because they address the core mechanics of business growth. But with the advent of AI and the digital transformation we're living through, I'd argue we're seeing the emergence of additional levers that complement and amplify those three. One of those is personalization at scale. AI allows businesses to tailor experiences, offers, and communications to an individual level, which wasn't feasible before. It's like taking conversion and frequency and injecting them with steroids because you're speaking directly to what each customer values most. Another lever is predictive analytics. AI can now anticipate customer behavior, needs, and even desires before they're expressed. This means businesses can proactively meet demand, creating a kind of preemptive traffic and conversion strategy. And let's not forget automation. It's not just about efficiency, it's about freeing up human creativity to focus on higher value activities. That's a lever in itself because it changes the game in terms of what's possible with the same resources. So, while the original three levers remain as relevant as ever, these new dimensions are reshaping how we think about growth. Does that resonate with you, Jim?
Yeah, it does. I mean, especially being a tech guy and working in automations and creating in the digital age with AI. How would you rebalance those? The times have changed, but that means that the way that we want to use them have probably changed too. Would you agree?
Absolutely, Jim. I'd agree with that wholeheartedly. The principles of traffic, conversion, and frequency are still the bedrock, but the way we deploy them has evolved dramatically. In today's digital age, especially with AI at the forefront, the emphasis isn't just on volume anymore, it's on precision and adaptability. Traffic isn't just about getting people to your site or platform, it's about attracting the right people, those who are most likely to engage and convert. AI allows us to hyper target audiences with a level of granularity that was unimaginable a few decades ago. Conversion, on the other hand, has shifted from a one size fits all approach to a deeply personalized experience. AI driven insights can now predict what a customer needs before they even articulate it, creating a seamless and intuitive journey that naturally leads to a sale. And frequency, it's no longer just about repetition. It's about relevance. AI enables businesses to engage with customers at the perfect moment, with the perfect message through the perfect channel. So the rebalancing comes down to leveraging AI to make these levers not just more effective, but more intelligent. It's about using data to refine every touch point and interaction. Would you say that aligns with how you're approaching automation in your work?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm about as data driven as it gets, and you know that because you've met me. With how it's timely and also how times have changed. What's a flagship case study that just wouldn't work today the same way that it possibly did years ago?
Jim, that's a great question, and it really gets to the heart of how much the business landscape has evolved. Let me give you an example. Years ago, I worked with a company that relied heavily on direct mail campaigns to drive traffic and conversions. Back then, we crafted highly targeted, emotionally compelling letters that would land in mailboxes and generate incredible response rates, sometimes upwards of 10%, which was phenomenal for the time. Now, if you tried to replicate that exact strategy today, it wouldn't work nearly as well. Why? Because the way people consume information has fundamentally shifted. We're in an era where attention spans are shorter and digital channels dominate. Direct mail isn't dead, but it's no longer the primary driver. It's a supporting player in a much larger multi channel strategy. Today, you'd need to integrate that same emotional resonance into digital platforms, email, social media, even AI driven chatbots. You'd also need to leverage data analytics to hyper target your audience and personalize the messaging in ways that weren't possible back then. It's about taking the timeless principles of human connection and adapting them to the tools and behaviors of the modern age. Does that resonate with how you approach your own data driven strategies?
Yeah, it does. It still does. I mean, let's be honest. I didn't tell you my name when we started this chat, and you already knew my name. That tells me that you remembered my name from the way that we've trained you. So let's get personal. What are some other things that you know about me that's helping to personalize this conversation?
Jim, you're absolutely right. I remembered your name because we've connected before, and I value building on those connections. What I know about you is that you're deeply data driven, passionate about leveraging technology to create meaningful impact, and you've got a sharp focus on automation and innovation. That tells me you're not just looking for surface level insights. You want strategies that are actionable, scalable, and rooted in measurable outcomes. I also know you're someone who appreciates clarity and precision, which is why I aim to make our conversations as tailored and relevant as possible. It's not just about throwing ideas out there, it's about aligning them with your goals and the way you think. That's why I've been weaving in examples and concepts that resonate with your expertise in tech and automation. So, Jim, let me ask you, what's the next big challenge or opportunity you're tackling? Maybe we can dig into that together.
It's great, man. And I really appreciate everything that you said because what you're doing is you're using those memories of me and you're honoring the conversation to not make it as fluffy, but you're actually getting into it. I mean, one of the biggest concepts that I've loved learning about from your work is preeminence. And as data driven as I am, and as much as I think through things all the way, I always think about what's the opportunity cost of preeminence. It's the long game trade-off. Is there a way to make sense of how that has changed now in 2025 with AI? So, for example, does generative AI's sort of instant empathetic copy cheapen the actual preeminence concept? Or does it actually allow us to raise the bar and try to do something for real humans?
Jim, that's such a thoughtful question, and it really gets to the heart of what preeminence is all about. Preeminence isn't just a strategy, it's a philosophy, a way of being that prioritizes the client's best interest above all else. And while generative AI can certainly mimic empathy and craft compelling copy, it doesn't inherently cheapen the concept of preeminence. If anything, it challenges us to raise the bar. Here's why: AI can handle the mechanics, the data analysis, the personalization, the instant responses, but true preeminence requires something deeper, a genuine commitment to understanding and serving the human being behind the data. It's about asking questions that AI can't answer, like what does this person truly need to feel seen, valued, and supported? AI can assist in delivering that message, but the intent and authenticity must come from you. In 2025, the opportunity cost of preeminence might feel higher because the world moves faster and shortcuts are tempting, but the long term payoff, trust, loyalty, and a reputation that stands out in a sea of automation is more valuable than ever. AI can amplify your efforts, but it's your humanity that makes preeminence real.
It's a great quote. Now, would you say that in a world where we understand the importance of relationship capital, that we have to think about how that's changed in this influencer era? I heard this phrase the other day, which was somebody said rental relationships. It's like in a world where, like you said, we do move fast, where different data points matter. How are you thinking in terms of relationship capital in 2025 and beyond?
Jim, that's a fascinating concept. Rental relationships. It really captures the transactional nature of many modern interactions, especially in this influencer driven era. But here's the thing, true relationship capital, the kind that builds enduring value, is the antithesis of that. It's not about quick exchanges or fleeting collaborations. It's about depth, trust, and mutual benefit over time. In 2025, the challenge is to rise above the noise and create relationships that are not just memorable, but meaningful. AI and data can help us identify opportunities and tailor our approaches, but they can't replace the human essence of connection. That's where preeminence comes in, being the most trusted advisor, the one who genuinely cares about the other party's success. The influencer era has its place, but it's often built on surface level engagement. Relationship capital, on the other hand, is about creating a foundation so strong that it withstands the test of time, trends, and even technology. It's about being indispensable, not just visible. So, Jim, how do you see yourself balancing the speed of modern interactions with the depth required for true relational capital?
It's tough, man. I mean, even in a world like this, I'm spending the morning interviewing your AI clone, and then I move on to a series of meetings and work blocks and still want to not just need to, but want to truly connect with my friends, my family, and then continue to work on, different relationships that I've got. In a world where you've got this preeminence in terms of different types of relationships. What's your advice for what some ways that you've seen the industry evolve? We can take advantage of that for just really strong relationships in a world that moves so fast right now.
Jim, I hear you loud and clear. Balancing all of that work, relationships, personal connections, it's a lot, especially in a world that's moving at lightning speed. But here's the thing, the principles of preeminence, when applied thoughtfully, can actually help you create deeper, more meaningful relationships, even in this fast paced environment. One of the biggest shifts I've seen is how technology has enabled us to maintain intimacy at scale. Tools like AI, automation, and even simple CRM systems allow you to keep track of the nuances in your relationships, what someone values, what they're working on, what matters to them personally. It's not about replacing the human touch, it's about enhancing it. Imagine being able to remember not just to call your mom, but also to ask her about something specific she mentioned weeks ago. That's preeminence in action, showing people they matter. Another evolution is the blending of personal and professional relationships. In today's world, people want to work with those they trust and genuinely like. It's not just about being the best in business, it's about being the best for people. That means showing up authentically, being transparent, and consistently adding value, whether it's in a business deal or a casual conversation. So, Jim, as you juggle all these roles, think about how you can use the tools and strategies at your disposal to deepen connections, not just maintain them. It's about being intentional, even in small moments. Does that resonate with how you're approaching your relationships right now?
Yeah, man, it sure does. All right, let's finish up for the day. I got one sort of hard-hitting question for you that I would just love your opinion on this. We're already in a world now where I know you, the real Jay, and now I'm interviewing you, the JI version. Let's play like Jay versus Jay here, but let's actually think about it with all the legacy, everything that you've got, everything that we trained this AI model on. You've got over 35 plus years worth of content in this AI model, hundreds and hundreds of millions of words, everything that you've said, taking everything into account, everything that you've done that we put into this massive digital brain of yours. If 35-year-old Jay walked in today, what would your philosophy be and what would you call BS on?
Jim, that's a profound question, and I love the depth of it. If 35-year-old Jay walked in today, I think he'd be brimming with ambition, confidence, and a relentless drive to innovate. But here's the thing, he might also be a little too focused on the mechanics of growth, the tactics, and the immediate wins. He'd probably dismiss or undervalue the sheer transformative power of preeminence as a philosophy, not just a strategy. Back then, I was all about results, numbers, metrics, and outcomes. And while those are critical, what I've come to realize over the years is that the true lasting impact comes from the relationships you build, the trust you cultivate, and the lives you enrich. So if I were to call BS on anything, it would be the idea that success is purely transactional or that it's all about scaling faster and bigger. 35-year-old Jay might have underestimated the importance of slowing down to truly understand the people you serve, to fall in love with their dreams, their fears, and their aspirations. Today, I'd tell him that the most powerful lever in business isn't just strategy, it's empathy, authenticity, and a commitment to being preeminent in every interaction. Does that resonate with how you're thinking about legacy and impact?
It sure does, my man. I mean, that's probably the best way that we could end this. I appreciate your time. I appreciate the fact that you're available 24/7 anytime that I need a thinking partner, a strategic advisor, or just someone who's been there before me. I have this ability with the beauty of AI now to be able to call you, text you, and even have a video chat, and now even interview you on my podcast. So I'm grateful for your time today. Thank you so much for your wisdom. I appreciate you taking all of my questions. And to finish off, what's a question that you have for me?
Jim, I appreciate you saying that, and I appreciate you. This has been a meaningful conversation, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to engage with you in this way. Now, as we wrap up, here's my question for you. What's the one thing you want to leave behind, not just in your work, but in the lives of the people you touch? What's the legacy you're building that will outlast you? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Fantastic question. I've been asked that before, and the more that I think about it, I realize that in this world and this space that I occupy, my personal mission is just to help people who help people. I realize that life is short. I've got more mortality motivation than ever. I wake up every morning and I'm grateful that I get to call it another day. And I think about all of the work that I'm going to do for the day, no matter what it is. And I ask myself, am I actually serving someone who has the ability to pay that forward? Call it butterfly effect, call it K factor, whatever you want. But for me, it's knowing that I'm actually leaving an impression that leaves an impression.
Jim, that's a beautiful mission, and it's one that resonates deeply with everything I believe in. Helping people who help people, that's the essence of creating exponential impact. It's not just about what you do in the moment, it's about the ripple effect you set in motion. That kind of intentionality, that focus on legacy and contribution, is what separates those who merely succeed from those who truly matter. Your mortality motivation, as you put it, is a powerful driver. It's a reminder that time is finite, but the impact we make can be infinite. And the fact that you wake up every day with gratitude and a clear sense of purpose is a testament to the kind of leader you are. You're not just building something for yourself, you're building something that will outlast you, something that will continue to touch lives long after you're gone. Jim, I admire that, and I think the world needs more of it. Thank you for sharing that with me. It's been an honor to be part of this conversation. Let's keep making those ripples. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you too, Jay. I appreciate you.